heard one day that Operation Sweep sunk into action, enter bush and then caught one kidnapper? One. You don't hear that one day. You can never hear it because their mandate currently is to harass innocent people in the street of Asaba and Agbo. Now look at what they have done to people in Agbo. Operation Sweep. They never one day say they go bush, follow us, say, oh yeah, let's go to the bush and pursue these armed robbers, these kidnappers terrorizing us. But that's their duty to do that, to respond to violent crimes. And they come to the street to commit havoc. Are the kidnappers on our street? No, they are inside the bush. These kidnappers are inside the bush and not on the road, for goodness sake. They are in the bush and not on the road. So stop harassing young people on the road. Stop abusing them. Stop extorting motorists on the road. Go to the bush where these guys are currently adapting our people. A time will come where if you see on the road, harass any young man on the road, we will burst on you. And that the hell we lose. You can't keep adopting people on the road and you feel we'll keep quiet. That's a lie. Any day we'll see you on the road, on any of our road on our side, harassing, adopting our people or extorting them. You see it. You see what we're going to do that day. When that day come, we'll see you. That Operation Sweep. That day you will see. You will see what we Deltas will do that day. Your time is coming.
It is about time for us as Christians and Southerners to understand that our prayers alone will not defeat these Fulani headsmen. I'm going to show you the video where the priests, where they amongst themselves, about 10,000 Enugu Catholic priests were on the streets of Enugu protesting that the governor must rise up. Either the governor fight for the approval for guns. You know, if an ordinary citizen cannot hold guns, the priests, let them hold guns so that they can secure their congregation. You know, it's enough. The last time the Fulani herders went to Adoni, they went to Hewamufu, they went to so many, interlands, and these are rural areas within the borders of Southern Benue and Enugu State, where so many lives were broad daylight were taken and were cut short. We've had enough. We have to understand that if we do not rise up, these Fulani marauding herders will think that they own and they only have the monopoly to terrorize other groups. The last time while we were still complaining that there has been so many killings going on in Plateau State, having killed over 500 people in less than 3 months in Plateau, what the federal government thought deemed and that they felt is the right thing to do was to go and create a grazing reserve. A grazing reserve in Plateau State where over 500 souls were taken cold-blooded. Okay, cold-blooded. So you understand that we can no longer be quiet and be absorbing the pain, absorbing the terrorism upon us, the abuse of our human rights, broad daylight. It is but see, when you do not have the capacity to impose violence, you cannot enjoy peace. The Fulani herders, the Fulani, whoever they are, they have enjoyed relative peace in Nigeria because every tribe, whether you are a Yoruba person, whether you are an Igbo person, or when you see a Fulani man, you say you are Yoruba. Before you know, they will bring out dagger. So we would not want to offend them, and that shouldn't be the situation. You get the point. So what we need to do is, when you show grace, I show you grace. It has to be aura for aura. It shouldn't be a situation whereby it is only you that has the capacity to impose fear. No. If you show me grace, I show you grace. Now, so it's supposed to be. Look at what is going on in Palestine and Pakistan, Palestine and India today. Palestinians went to, they went to invade a community in India because they've always had this long-standing beef. I'm going to be brief about it. Please pay attention. They've always had this long-standing beef. And it's just like the beef that the Fulanis and the Igbos have always had in Nigerian politics. A Fulani man will say, I can never trust an Igbo man. If I give an Igbo man power, it will divide the country. And the Igbo man has been absorbing that abuse, that molestation, that marginalization. The Igbo man has not taken his time to stand up. Since 1966, that they stopped that war in 1970, and Igbo man has not stood up outright. The last time they had the chance, the person that led them didn't have the mind. He didn't have the courage. Peter Obi had to say that make nobody protest. But you have to follow the footsteps of India. Palestinians went into their homeland. They wanted to suppress them, but India stood up and said, for where? I don't go agree. He went into their own community. He tore their clothes. He said, grace for grace. So we have to get the point. What the Enugu priests, what they are doing right now, it is no longer fasting and prayer. A Fulani man will come to your community, they will burn it down, they'll be asking you, where's your Jesus? Can your Jesus save you? I mean, these are the questions they ask our innocent villagers. These who could be your mother, they could be your village members. Just imagine, they will start asking them, where's your Jesus? They burn them, they machete them, cold blood. Sometimes they cut them off, they feed them to the dogs. So the pastors must get it right, and I think they need to intensify that protest. This protest should not be a one-off. It has to be a continuous, campaign until the federal government, even though it seems as if the federal government is sentimental towards the Fulanis, but sometimes, how would the federal government say that they are proud to go and open graze, free land for Fulanis to come and graze in someone's community? In Plateau State, in Birum, in Langtan, where people have been killed. The federal government did not say, okay, all the souls, all the people that have been killed, their families, if these people are your next of kin, how about you provide their death of certificate or something? Or they just set them up. Some people, look at that woman that has lost. She lost 3 sons and a husband. She does have 1 more daughter. How does she want to start life? This woman merely escaped death, her skin everywhere full of bones. So at this stage, more clerics in other states, they need to also follow the footsteps of the Enugu's priests, because I think this is a welcome idea.
We have 3 instruments that we're using to address violent extremism, terrorism, and to an extent violent crimes. I'll quickly mention them: the counter-terrorism strategy, the policy framework on countering violent extremism, and then the terrorism prohibition and prevention law reviewed in 2022. Now, those till date, we haven't, as a country, evaluated the implementation of those 3 instruments, which means these bad guys are exploiting gaps. Right. The persons who created those 3 instruments envisaged a situation where our national powers and all our national powers will work together towards the implementation of those documents. Sadly, what we are seeing at the moment are huge gaps that are being exploited.
Gaps in which?
I'll explain it. Let's use Bokos as an example. 6 communities were attacked.
In Plateau State.
And in Plateau State, Bokos Plateau State. From the accounts that we had, these were persons on motorbikes. Motorbikes, I mean, you can't put a motorbike in your pocket. Motorbikes move from one point to the other, and they need to a large extent motorable or good road surfaces to move from one point to the other. And when you're done with the operation, you're not going to bury the ground and hide them over.
Right.
So the surveillance capabilities that were envisaged in those 3 instruments, where are they? How come none of the security agencies is coming out to say, we've used X technology? Because I'm in a public space, I'm mindful what I say. Yeah. We've used X technology to monitor the ingress and then the exit of those motorcycles. How many persons have been arrested? What kind of evidences would have been gathered to allow for the prosecution of those persons? So by the time you pick those 3 instruments and identify the 5 elements in them, which ends in prosecution, you find out that repeatedly, in the case of in Plateau State, in the case of Borno, incidents have happened over time, and we rarely hear of prosecutions. So
listen, let me just butt in here. So sorry about that. I mean, the Chief of Army Staff, they visited communities in Plateau State. One of the points he made, he said, look, we need political, more or less non-kinetic approach to solving this, crisis. Maybe not only in Plateau State, maybe across all the areas where you have the security threats. Do you agree with that? Before I come to.
But before, I mean, yes. let's use Plateau State as in the course of our conversation. Operation Safe Haven, which has been in existence for the past 15 years. As far as I know, that operation has not been subjected to civilian oversight. We need to hear from the military what have they been able to achieve. Why hasn't in 15 years the same challenge that it was created to address, why has that challenge not been addressed? One of the instruments I mentioned, the policy framework on countering violent extremism, it's purely a non-kinetic approach. So we don't lack the instruments for it. We have it. The political will to implement those instruments is what is lacking. If that's my response directly to the Chief of Army Staff. And it's not the responsibility of the Army. It's not the responsibility of the military. It's our national powers would need to come together. That document...
What is the national powers? Let's be clear.
Everything.
It's not just the military, it's not the police.
It's the whole of government, whole of society.
Approach. Okay.
Yeah, that's what that document speaks to. But that document would need to be translated down to us as Nigerians. Let's understand the content. Let's embrace it. You as a journalist, you need to be able to speak to that document. The market woman who needs to be able to understand the content and help in the implementation. If today she sees those terrorists, who is she going to call to say, look, I've seen one of the killers? I doubt if the market women in Bokos know have that kind of information.
Mohammed Ngoshi, I mean, you're a former state director, DSS, Plateau Command, so you understand the terrain very well. I believe so. I mean, when I said, the Chief of Army Staff is suggesting that a political, approach is the way forward, you seem to, nod in agreement. What do you think is the most sustainable way to address this crisis? Not just in Plateau State. You have Borno, where the governor is also saying, look, Boko Haram is back.
Good.
What's the way out?
I share in that view 100%. The Chief of Army Staff has hit it on the nail. I hit the nail on the head.
Right.
Like he said, safe haven is a military operation to stem the tide. That is only the criminal aspect of it. He talked about an instrument that is supposed to be non-kinetic. But those people executing those instruments are proceeding from the point of view of vested interests.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, if you meet an indigenous Plateau man, the narration he will give you is the one that suits his condition, is the one that suits his thinking, is the one that will further his wish to get whatever he thinks that is due to him in the plateau, on the plateau.
Yeah.
And if you meet a non-indigen, a settler, which they call settlers in this crisis, will tell you his own side of it. And his own side of it is going to portray what he is going through, what he wants, what he desires. Nobody is talking of the actual thing on the ground.
But you said that it's a multidimensional situation here.
It is.
There's socio-economic and political factors playing out.
Yes.
Is there a one-size-fits-all solution? I mean, when you say the non-kinetic, the political approach, can it address the multidimensional facets of this situation?
It can. All that it takes is the willpower, the political will to do it. How is it going to be done? Having the political will. The situation is so modeled up now that the moment you take politics, religion will get into it.
Right.
Social considerations will come into it. Ethnicity will come into it. And so much coming into it. And those people, the current people fighting this war on the plateau are not the architect of this crisis. It started long before them. Right. If, for example, we can get back to a situation where people like Baba Paul Gindiri can come up today and see what is happening, he will be able to assess what was when they were growing up and what is now. Maybe, I'm not saying that is what will
Unfortunately,
happen.
we don't have the benefit of that.
We don't have the benefit of that.
So from where we...
Welcome back, my people. I think all of you have listening to waiting these people talk. Though what the advice I'll have to give you you guys is that, okay, every one of you should protect yourself because of the way this country is going, because no one will come out to protect you. Just be yourself protector because of the way this Nigeria security is going. Had it been okay, we get security for this country, you see all this thing that is going, all this insecurity where we see day too much for this country. If I don't go down small, it's just that okay, we don't have any security and government does not even they don't even care. They don't even care for all our citizen life. Nothing. The only thing they know is 2027 election that is coming. That is only what they focus on. So you already hear me now. What the advice I don't give you, make you just hold on tight. make nobody fall victim for all this thing wey be say dey go on for this country. This thing wey dey go on for this country, if you no wan make e like affect you, na you go be yourself protector, na you go be your self defense because of the way this country dey go. So I don hear wetin many people talk, how dem wan all the security agency wey be say dem suppose to attack all these bandits and all the people that are terrorizing this country. Instead of them to like attack those people, they are attacking young men on the street. That is what bring all this thing here today. So the thing wey me say, me I get also tell una, although we na farmers na we be, everyone, like everyone of this country, even though you are not a farmer, you get someone who is a farmer from your family or from your community. So I'm advising you now to like tell any of them that is going to farm, you should carry one thing or the other with him, so that it's not as if okay, we are advising them to carry gun along or whatsoever. But what we are trying to tell them is that okay, they should be going out with something that will be protecting them. That's what we're trying to see. So because the way this country dey go, so I don't think any security agency will come out to defend anybody, because even the security agency we're talking about are people's fathers and mothers too. Though that is their work, now the work where they're supposed to be that, but you know how Nigeria as a country is, so nobody go fit come out. Nigeria workers, or I can't say Nigeria workers, Nigerian, many of them, wetin dem know be say na where dem dey shop for na im dem dey always focus on. So you cannot even just sit down for all this security agency or all the security to fight for you. Just fight for yourself and protect yourself. May God save us all. And una wey get anybody for una side wey be say e be farmer, make una warn am. So na wetin we get to tell una today. So any of una wey be say you get anything to talk concerning this matter wey be say dey go on, make him drop am for inside comment section. And also, if na today be your first time here, abeg make you like our video, make you share am, and also make you subscribe. Thank you.